Welcome, welcome. We are here at Fuji International Raceway, where, if it wasn't obvious, we're here to race. And I'm gonna pause real quick because for some reason all my sound is coming through my TV, despite the fact that I have headphones plugged in. There we go. That's better. Not enough braking. Okay, we're doing a stuck check already. I guess I missed the message when I came in, so I'm part of the stuck check. I say we see how I'm gonna do it turn one, that's all. I'm just saying. Ugh, rev so fast. Oof. And we have contact. And I have mid-engine performance. I missed my braking. Or I was just getting out of everybody's way. One of the two. One of the two. Alright, let's see if we can get... Nobody was stuck, which was good. Let's see if we can get a lap around here. I'm gonna take it easy because I'm not the greatest at Fuji. 6 minutes to the next stuck check should be enough for a couple of laps. Too much. So did Samuel. Same, Sammy. Same. Should keep us on time and give it a little time for anyone else needing to join. Okay. I like where Loopy's head at as our impromptu host. Let's see if we can't maybe do a better job on the next lap. On our full out lap here. I kind Kind of feel like letting Sam go, but he's too far. Oh, Sam's spinning. Never mind. I don't know where to brake. We'll call it 150. 150 is too soon. Okay, well, better than too late. It's turn 1. It's a hairpin, pretty sharp, after one of the fastest straights in motorsport. So, you know, basically get your brakes together. A lot of curb there, my bad. Now through a very, very long sweeper. I don't know the names of these corners. Oh, I've overshot it. Knew I was overshooting it. Coming down as we head towards another very sharp hairpin that is the first turn of a chicane, actually. Up. That curb can be very slippery. Luckily, didn't really kill me. Ugh. You're not doing good. You're not doing good. Alright, let's try another lap. Stuck check is soon, but let's see where we end up. Hopefully, I don't overshoot too many corners anymore. Hopefully, I brake at the right time for turn 1 here. I'm trying to adjust my chair so it doesn't roll back when I brake, because that's what it's doing on me. Yeah. Still braked too early for turn 1, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not racing, so, you know. Stuck check in 2 minutes. That's enough time to finish a lap. Let's do this. Braking way too much for that. You can go way faster there in these cars. I am timid. Alright, let's see what my lap is, and then I'm gonna hop off so they can do their stuck check. That was a lap around Fuji. 1:39.1 is my lap time. And let's see what the actual racers do when quali starts. Stuck check will be in a few seconds, I imagine, and then quali should start directly after that. I did not mean to leave the room, and yet I did that because, but I do. It's what I do. Yes. That's what I do. I leave rooms. My friends invite me to come race, and I come, I show up, I do a couple laps, and I leave. That's how I do this. Don't give me grief about it. Came in just in time to start the stuck check. Doesn't like anyone stuck. That's good. Everyone away. Nobody spun it on the throttle this time around. Hopefully we get a similar clean start for the actual race. Because I think, was it the last race that somebody did? spin and hit somebody else right at the start? I could be wrong. Let's get rid of that echo. That's my twin. And that's that. We don't have that many people in a field of 9. Tokyo Samuel is Medelic Bar, Joao Oliveira, Akai Suisse, Racer Tay, Twilly, and F. Oliveira. Now, where are you, Discord? I was looking for you. I seem to have lost Discord altogether. It's gone. For good. Oh, it's just tiny little downloading update window. Alright, that's why. Yeetus deletus. Great words, great important words from great important racers. Alright, Discord's up. Let's make sure we get all the info we can out here. Let's take a look at our standings after the last round. Samuel is at the top of the standings for this series with how many points? 48 points. Can I zoom in on this? Guys, I'm getting old. My eyesight's not what it used to be. Alright.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Not you, Siri. Just old. Just old. Alright, anyway, Sammy's got 48 points. MOP Racer is behind Sammy with 41 points. MOP has been pretty consistent here with the points, but I don't see MOP here today. I don't know. I guess they're not going to make it. And they are tied for second place with Isma Delic, who is here, so I expect Isma, so long as Isma finishes the race, they will take a position away from MOP in the standings. Hey Siga, how are you? Yes, good luck to everybody. Isma's in third place. Like I said, we're really tied for second with MOP. In fourth is Vlave, who's also not here, just a few points behind. Nobody's really that far behind in the points from the next competitor up, actually. They're all very close points battles, except maybe I'd say the gap between Nemesis and Joao Oliveira. Nemesis with 36 points and Joao with 29, but even that's not a big gap. That's just the biggest gap. So everything is in play here still in this season, and this is the final round, so and a lot of people are missing, so I think we're gonna see some changes in order in the standings, because everyone is really close. Qualifying starting now. Good luck to everyone in qualifying. Qualifying is 15 minutes, right? And no fuel or tire wear on there. No fuel use, no tire wear. So it is pure speed. There's nothing getting in your way mechanically of getting a quick lap time, short of your actual equipment, obviously. Somebody's controller's broken and another person's pedals aren't quite acting right. I suppose there is something in the way, but it won't be fuel or tire. 15 minutes of quality on the board. That should be a decent amount of laps around here. A lap around here is a little over a minute and a half. So drivers will get plenty of chances to get around this track and get the lap time that they need. I expect that the split in lap times from top to bottom will be pretty wide, because there is a wide gulf in time between someone who has mastered Fuji and someone who just knows Fuji. As someone who just knows Fuji, I can tell you that from experience, because this is such a quick track. Even outside of that very long front straight, even the more technical sections in the second sector, like the second sector is still a very fast sector, and your braking and corner exits matter a lot to get you to those speeds. And if you mess up, you know, you messed up, right? You mess up, and now you're slow, and the guy next to you is going 140 mile an hour. So you don't want to mess up in Fuji. This final sector here is very slow and very technical. It is very wide, but you know, I have to say that there are a few different lines you can take through there, but it doesn't vary as much as you would think. So mastery of the last sector around here is also very, very important. Let's go on board with the champion, the current, okay, it's not the champion, but the current leader in the standings, rather, Samuel. Let's see if Samuel got their practice in. Yeah, that's a really, really good turn one there. Kept that nice and tight. All that stuff matters around here at Fuji. You really can't afford to mess up a corner at Fuji. It's just too fast. It's too fast. While you're messing up, your competitors are going fast, you know, 130 mile an hour through here. So don't mess it up. You're gonna lose out. Hard on the brakes, let that car get straight, and boom on the throttle hard. There you go. Flirting with some of that slippery, I don't know if that's AstroTurf or just green paint there, but it's that slippery shit that they love to use at all the Japanese tracks. That'll catch you out. Swings it hard into the hairpin there. That was actually really quick. Just almost oversteered into it. But pointed right at the apex, so, you know, good oversteer. I expect this is going to be a very quick lap. A little bobble coming out of that turn there, but that's super easy to do. That is a really weird hairpin. I don't even know if it's a hairpin. Yeah, it's a hairpin, but it's coming off such a weird corner. RacerTati sets our first qualifying time of the 134. Sam's about to cross right now with a 34 as well, a 34.8 coming behind Joao. Joao dropping a 134.7, and Samuel dropping a 134.8 on their lap. Let's do another lap with Samuel, because I get the feeling that, oh, never mind. I was going to say they made a bunch of little mistakes in that first lap, and so this one should be better no matter what. And it could still be. It could still be. A little bobble coming out of turn one. Just a little hard on the throttle there. Some of these turns are so slow. Got a little hung up. Didn't really get outside for that turn in time. But Sam making it look like it was on purpose. We saw it, Sam. We saw it. But yeah, a lot of these turns are so slow, like this hairpin coming in right here, that, you know, you're on a track where you spend a lot of your time full throttle, and then you come out of these corners and you forget that you need to modulate and be very, very careful coming out of a lot of these turns, because corner exit, like I said, is so important here, because speed is so important here. Top speed before your next turn, especially in the first and second sectors, and of course the start finish straight here. You know, coming out of this corner, you want to be perfect coming out of this corner. You don't want to oversteer it. You don't want to give it too much throttle, because you absolutely need Sam jumping into the pits. I don't know if this is Sam being done, but let's watch Joao. Joao going to be impeded on this lap by Twilly. But Joao may be okay being behind Twilly right now in first place. Well, no, RacerTati is not far behind, not even a tenth behind. So I would say Joao doesn't really have the luxury of just hanging behind a car who's a driver who's slower. Twilight being in ninth place here after 2 laps. Joao's not going to be able to make a pass to get around, so I would say Joao needs to abandon this lap, maybe jump back in the pits real quick, jump back out, do another out lap. But I don't know. What I do know is that I wouldn't be relaxing if I was Joao Oliveira right now, because both second, Samuel's back out, and RacerTati are very close. F. Oliveira being almost 4/10 behind. F. Oliveira also having an issue here around bar, hitting bar. Hope that you know, that's why you want to spread out during quali, so you're not messing up each other's laps. Bar is going to be really disappointed right there, assuming that was a decent lap for them. Racer Tay goes first, 134.6. Exactly what I was talking about. Now I am not familiar with Racer Tay. Does anybody know if they are subbing for somebody or what's the story there? Either way, Racer Tay just outdid Joao, who spent the whole last lap chilling behind somebody, which made no sense to me, but I would be getting out here to get as many quick ones as I can. We're about halfway through quali here, 7.5 minutes in to 15-minute quali. So still plenty of time to go, but not so much time that you can just chill and lollygaggle. Is that the word? Lollygaggle. Joao coming down the start-finish line now. Straight rather, let's see what kind of time we're gonna see. Joao not improving on their time, so Racer Tay stays ahead by 1/10. Samuel is through the final sector and just went purple on the second sector, it looks like. So let's see what kind of lap time they're on. What kind of lap? This is a first place lap. Thank you. From Samuel, putting in a 134.662. Putting everybody on notice. Okay, I'm in first place in this championship, baby. You have to come through me. You're gonna have to come through me, and I like it. Make that statement, Samuel. Let's see if Joao, Racer Tay, maybe even somebody else can come through. You never know. We tend to have qualifiers where somebody comes in at the last minute with a blazing time to beat out the people we were watching. Sam kind of stuck on the outside of that turn for a little bit, it looks like. Well, you know, that's the line they took on the first lap that we followed them through as well, but it almost looks like the car gets hooked there. I can't imagine that you want your tires there, but I guess Sam likes it. Racer Tay responds with a 134.638. At this point, we're literally playing a game of thousands here. So Sam using as much of the track as available, as you can see there. Literally just taking up all the space, giving that car every inch it needs to accelerate and go quickly. Again, speed and flow being so important here. Oh, a little bit of a bobble. I love the word bobble today. Little issue coming out of the last turn, but Sam's about to cross the line. Here are the lights. Where are we going to be at? First place again with a 134.5. Let's see what kind of lap Racer Tay is on. We still got 4 minutes in here, so we can still get 2 or 3 more laps before the end of qualifying. Racer Tay very careful going into the hairpin to the chicane there. It's such a difficult little bit of corners there, and it doesn't get easier when you get out of it, because then you have this final sector here, which is trickier than it looks. Way trickier than it looks. Very wide entry into the last turn there, which is what a lot of people recommend, the line a lot of people recommend, so you can get as much speed on this start-finish straight as possible. You start as far back as possible, basically. Get on the accelerator quickly as you're still heading towards the apex. Racer Tay, faster than Samuel again with a 134.5. What does Samuel have? Samuel coming into the last sector right now, probably seeing that, but staying cool about it. There you go. Staying cool about it, keeping tight, being safe on that throttle. So now, Sam, do you return on this lap, or are you going to be working on the next lap? Meanwhile, Joao falling further and further behind. Sam does not go faster on that lap, almost 2/10 back, in fact, which I would say that at these speeds, the speeds that they're showing, means Samuel probably made a decent mistake on a corner. So Racer Tay is going to keep first place for a second. Joao, meanwhile, hasn't improved since lap 2. So Joao still sitting in third with that same 134.7. Just not really getting there. You can see the next laps, 138, 36, a mid 35, a 39, and another high 35. So there's nowhere near that 34.7. So I wonder if consistency is going to be an issue for our third place qualifier. Racer Tay, let's see if they're going to improve their time and push that that bar a little bit higher. What's up, Avalarian? Racer Tay does not go faster, but isn't that far off their first time, so that's showing consistency. Both Racer and Samuel have shown consistency with their last few lap times, though, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Sam, purple on the second sector for Sam again, but it looked like it could have been lag as well, but it looked like Sam was just a little bit oversteery coming out of that final hairpin before the last sector, but we'll see. We came in right as the little marker came in and say Sam had gotten the purple second sector. Not sure how they did on the first. Doesn't improve, but not that far off again. So as we come down to our final laps here, I think we're gonna get another lap after this. This fight between Racer Tay and Samuel is really interesting. They have very similar paces, and so I would like to see if we're gonna get some good on-screen battles from them too, or if they'll be on, you know, completely different strategies and we end up only seeing them together for the first stint. Not sure. No, Racer not gonna improve this lap. Sam, if this is a quick lap, you have a chance here. Racer Tay is not going to increase the gap on this lap, so come through, Sam, in that second sector, heading towards the hairpin, towards the chicane. Purple on the first sector. Purple by almost a 1/10. I think maybe Samuel has found something here. Let's see. Oliveira beats out Joao with a 134.6. Didn't see that coming. Well, maybe I did. Joao hasn't improved their lap time since lap 2, so Sam, what are you gonna get here? Crosses the line in first, a 134.4. I thought so. That first sector split with being a 1/10 quicker was crazy. Racer Tay, I don't think Racer Tay is going to get another chance here. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They are currently on a lap. They just finished the second sector. Definitely feeling the pressure now. There's not a whole lot of racetrack left to make up time, so oh, and a penalty. Racer takes it quickly, but that's them done. So Samuel holds first place for us here. Racer Tay is going to grab second. A really good qualifying battle between these two. F. Oliveira coming in the last minute to throw Joao off the podium. if there was a podium for qualifying, to take third place. So the two Oliveras together, nothing surprising. They do usually end up together on track. Racer Tay's last lap of 37.9. So even with that half-second penalty, I would say Racer must have been pushing it. Made some huge mistakes on that last lap. Samuel keeping it cool the whole time. Got the lap time down. Hey, bad guy. Time to begin. Stuck checks were both clear. Everyone is away. Oh, it's a rolling start. Never mind. I forgot about that. So, we don't know if anyone's stuck yet. Now, okay, nobody's stuck. Everybody's away on the map. Let's go back up front. Let's see how the front goes through. Can't change my camera angle to in car. That would have been cool, but you know, this is fine too. Turn 1, very clean, very well done. NSXs in the field, but they are down at the back of the field for the most part, which I would expect. I think the GTR is a bit quicker in a straight line than the NSX, and this is definitely a track that rewards straight line speed. Though, you know, having downforce and cornering ability is also really important here, but that front straight and the faster second sector, just really you want the horsepower. You basically want the grunt. Racer Tay already taking aggressive lines on Samuel, so Samuel going defensive in a lot of these turns. Racer Tay looking for over-unders on some of them. But Samuel able to hang on and keep first place for a little bit here. But yeah, Sam was getting stressed by Tay there at first. Sam staying inside Racer Tay is gonna pop out here and get that over under into turn 1. Doesn't quite stick. Racer Tay able to keep more speed through there, but Sam went for it. I saw what they were going for. Racer Tay somehow managing to not only brake well for that corner from way inside, but also hanging onto it and preventing the over-under from Sam. Not by positioning, but just by sheer pace. Just had the momentum going through there, so that was really cool. Good racing by Racer Tay to make that pass there. F. Oliveira and Joao, meanwhile, just gotta watch the show. Check in with the backpack. Twilight already with a penalty. Looks like that got served. That hairpin is really slow, so looks like that got burned off easy. Probably wasn't a big one to begin with. But now they enter the final sector. Racer Tay still up front, haven't made that pass on Samuel into turn 1. Samuel's just gonna stay behind. If I'm Sammy, I'd chill behind Racer Tay until pit window opens up. You know, I'll save some fuel. You guys know me. I've talked about this. Team 1 all together in their matching GTRs. It looks really good going down the front straight. all three of them there with those really dope Nismo liveries. That was a great little vista. You guys are lucky I didn't go into photo mode there. Akai hanging on ahead of the other NSX in 6th place. Already starting to separate themselves from Bar and No One Sleep in Tokyo here. Bar with a really cool, almost pretty vintage looking Castrol livery. Is that a livery that would have run on that car in that era? It just looks, the colors on that livery just look really vintage. In any case, No One Sleep chasing through the curvy 2nd sector. Curvy, still very quick 2nd sector. You'll see as they enter the 1st sector here, Racer and Samuel. You'll see Samuel's biggest concern through here is going to be dirty air. This is a section where you definitely want your downforce, and you want it working right for you. It's very easy to go wide here, and if you go wide, you're just so far off the line. It's pretty bad. Racer Tay slipping a little bit on the curb on the outside, got Samuel a little bit closer. Samuel closing in a little bit tighter on Racer Tay because of that slight mistake you saw on the curb there, and that's what I'm talking about. With so much speed, you know, you mess up and the guy behind you is on you, period. Let me hop out of here, hop back in so I can change camera angles. Let's watch these two fight. Racer making the same move from the inside to stay defensive for turn 1 there, and keeping the momentum as well to keep Samuel behind. Isman Delig qualified in 5th here, but we have lost Twilight somehow. Something happened. Hoping not. Probably, or I don't know what I'm hoping, but probably network issues. We just lost Twilight from the race. Samuel really diving into turn 1 there, just really trying to work that that turn, trying to get an over-under on Racer Tay, but quite frankly, it's not going to work the way Sammy's doing it. Sammy's going to have to force Racer Tay very far inside for a very long time for it to work. Sammy giving him room, of course, to track out a little bit and get a better line through that turn, and it's allowing Racer to keep too much momentum. So Sammy's over-under keeps getting impeded. You see Sammy having to brake a little bit extra every time that nose is right up on Racer Tay's tail lights on the apex. It's almost there, but just can't pull it off. It's gonna have to keep trying. Meanwhile, we see Bar and No One Sleep still out here racing together. Oh, little mess up from Bar. Coming out of that final chicane, very easy to get slippery up there too, to get messed up up there too. The apex on the turn coming out is very slippery, and there's a lot of it, so it's very tempting to run all 4 tires out on it, but it can catch you out. It can really catch you out when you're on the throttle there. Let's go back to our fight for first. Coming into turn 1, see, this is what I mean right here. Sam is pulling out and going outside way too quickly. I would crowd Racer Tay up until you hit almost the breaking point. Get in there again. Sam not quite as close in the over-under this time around, but it's not working. Now Sam might not be trying to pass. That just might be Sam's way of staying close to their competitor. It's quite possible. But yeah, Sam is shifting that GTR pretty short behind RacerTati, saving fuel, so Sam will probably be happy to get that pass in turn 1, but might be just as comfortable waiting it out until the pits, making that pass in pit lane. Nothing wrong with making a pass in pit lane. Strategy is just important as actual racecraft, if you ask me. Sam not quite as close to Racer this time around, not side by side for the first turn there. You can see him revving it all the way out just to catch up and get back into the slipstream. Oh well, Sam with 0.4 up on that first sector, no doubt fueled by that great slipstream that he had for about half of the first sector there. So I expect that Sam might beat RacerTati's fastest lap here, that 1:35.8 that Racer just dropped down. Meanwhile, Oliveira's behaving, treating each other well. What are we going to get from Sam this time around? Again, just not getting side by side with Racer again. Sam does get that fastest lap. Racer goes defensive, seeing as Sam has a lot of speed. Sam taking the outside for turn 1, trying a new tactic, which seems to have been working for Racer, and it's probably going to work for Sam here because Sam's going to have the inside for this turn and does not owe Racer any kind of room. So Racer's going to have to back out. Racer does. You see, watching the radar there, Sam back up top. Good pass, good move there to stay on the outside and just use momentum to get around that turn. I think that's how Racer was able to defend it so well. Turn 1 is pretty wide. There's a lot of it to use, so you get to keep your momentum. You get to jump on that throttle a little bit quicker than you think. Racer on the throttle too quick there. Slips, slides, has to back out. Loses speed. Sam easy into the first chicane. This has been a good battle between these two. I'm going to tweet out that I'm commentating while we watch this happen. A couple people diving into the pits, it looks like. Is that what I saw, or were they just taking defensive measures? Just taking defensive measures. Meanwhile, I just don't want to lose this battle. Samuel goes defensive to turn 1. RacerTati makes the pass around the outside and crosses over Samuel to go defensive. An interesting decision there. Samuel forced to take the outside line. makes the same exact move on Racer, stays outside, keeps momentum, and is able to get back there. I think Racer made a mistake crossing over and going defensive there, and I think Racer just learned a lesson. Okay, the outside is quicker. I proved it. I showed it to Samuel. Samuel's been using it, and now Samuel's taking me to school with my line. I like what I see. F. Oliveira catching up during all of this battling. F is only half a second behind Racer Tay, so I wonder if they're going to start getting a taste of this because they're well within slipstream. They've lost teammate Joao Oliveira behind, and that puts Isma in 4th place. I'm still watching over Isma because Isma's sitting in 2nd in the championship, so I'd like to see if we start to see consistency play out here, and Isma jumps up and starts battling for a win here. Meanwhile, Sam still hanging on to it. Racer still well within slipstream. F. Oliveira a little bit slower than both of them through that last sector. You saw F. Oliveira lost a solid 4/10 on those two. What's gonna happen here? Sam stays in the middle, doesn't commit to being defensive, but is still being defensive. Stays right in the center there. Racer fakes inside, but Sam didn't take the bait. You saw that. Racer moved inside, went back outside. Opposite just stay right behind Samuel. I don't think there was much of a move to be made there with Samuel chilling in the middle of the track. I love the racing that we're seeing here. This is really good stuff. I hope everyone is learning something. Everyone should be faster after watching this race, quite frankly. Quite frankly, we should all be quicker. Racer keeping pressure on Sam. Everyone's tires are still pretty healthy. Fuel looking healthy. I don't think we're gonna start seeing pit stops here unless somebody wants to make an undercut. Sam, big mistake on that last corner. Let's Racer take it right alongside as they head towards turn 1. Racer might be able to get a nose out ahead there. Yeah, Racer getting ahead a little bit. Sam is going to jump in behind to get a little bit of a tow. Give me some slipstream. But then is Sam going to jump outside and try to make that outside move stick again? Doesn't quite get it. Racer using all the track there. Oop. Saw that F. Oliveira almost lost it right behind them. But you saw Sam get past after making that big mistake coming out of the last turn, and that's exactly what I was talking about. You need to come out of your turns perfectly here. There's too much speed at stake, and you saw Racer able to make that pass without a slipstream. In fact, Racer was right up next to Sam from the moment they came out of the corner and was able to get around Sam on top speed alone. Because of that mistake, Sam did tuck in to Racer's slipstream just to try to get a little extra speed, try to hold on to something in turn 1, but it wasn't enough. What did we learn? We learned to do the last turn correctly at Fuji. We learned to come out of it fast or don't come out of it at all. No one sleep. Still chilling behind bar. Not too far behind, but I wouldn't say that they're getting much of a slipstream here. These two are pretty much racing on their own. In the back, Sam alongside, I'm sorry, Racer alongside Sam for a second there. But Sam made a mistake coming out of the last turn, and as you saw, there's a little squirrely. Not able to stay with Racer there, not alongside at least. But Sam gonna take a slipstream, gonna crowd Racer to the inside. Not quite close enough for an over-under though. F. Oliveira, meanwhile, has got to be watching this and loving it. hoping that one of these two will make a mistake, or one will get into the other one and basically gift F. Oliveira second place, or maybe even first. Sometimes it's fun to just hang back and not take part of a battle. Sometimes it's fun to just sit there and watch and wait for them to mess up. This whole line of GTRs here in the first half of our pack. The top 5 separated by 3.5 seconds. Then a big gap to Akai Suisse in 6th place. Bar, No One Sleep in Tokyo again. All 3 of these just kind of racing on their own. 12 laps in, we're about a third of the way in, and I thought we'd start seeing people dip in. Samuel dips in, Racer faked that he was going to dip in, but didn't. Sam does jump into the pits, going to take tires. Looks like Sam is the only one to jump in the pits from the first half, and we have Bar and No One Sleep in Tokyo at the back. I don't think they're going to pit yet. Typically the NSX drivers don't need to pit as often as the GTR drivers do. They in the last couple of races they've been on different pit strategies. So Sam in first, and I think that was the right call, because again, F. Oliveira, Ismadelic, and even Joao to an extent were not too far off watching Sam and Racer have this battle and getting closer and closer every lap. So I think Sam did the right thing. Go ahead and jump in the pits, get your fuel, get your tires, have some clean laps where you're not slowed down trying to defend or trying to pass, and see if you can come out ahead again when everyone else pits. Meanwhile, Racer doesn't really have anyone to worry about. F. Oliveira is 1.3 seconds back, so Racer's going to get the same advantage except with worn tires. So we'll see if Racer jumps in here. I don't see that there's much of an advantage for them to stay out while Samuel gets clean laps with fresh tires. Racer, yep, gonna go ahead and jump across here, jump into the pits. F. Oliveira follows, not committing to pit until they saw Racer commit. If you saw there, F. Oliveira kind of rode the line a little bit until Racer dove in definitively, but everyone in. Racer with way less fuel than everyone else, so if they are fueling up, they're gonna have to stay in a little bit longer. It looks like the tires are on and the fuel is going. Fuel is in, Racer's out, and yes, Racer comes out behind both of the one drivers, Ismadelic and Joao, because they had to sit there and take fuel. Actually, all of the one drivers, Ismadelic is there, Joao and F. Oliveira is there. Racer Tay in turn 1 though, able to jump in and get third, just sitting behind Ismadelic. It's kind of hard to tell who's who. Racer is the one with the different livery without the racing stripes if you're looking head on. But Racer losing out on one position there, and now coming out with a battle on their hands. So yeah, Sam definitely made the right move jumping into the pits there. Sam ahead by a solid 11.5 seconds, and doesn't have to worry about what Racer's about to have to go through to get back into this fight for first. Meanwhile, our NSX drivers have also jumped in, as well as Bar. Bar losing a position to No One Sleep in Tokyo after that pit stop. I think Bar might have taken a little too much fuel, I don't know. We have another pit stop though, so it can even out by having to take less fuel, but you know. Let's go watch this battle here. Let's see if Racer is able to get around Isma. Let's see if Isma's teammates, Joao and F. Oliveira, keep him occupied. Maybe give Isma a chance to run away here. Racer is going to go inside of Isma with that slipstream. Isma's going to stay outside, which we've seen can be the faster line. But Isma actually tucks right in behind Racer and gives it to him. pretty easily. That was interesting. So Racer Tay already up to second place and is probably going to run away because on pace, Racer is faster than Isma, Joao, and F. Oliveira. So I can't see why Isma really tucked in there and gave it to Racer Tay, outside of maybe just not having the speed to do so. But I thought that Ismadella was going to be able to hang on to second place there. Yeah, Racer already increasing that gap. It's coming up to a second here. So Racer Tay is going to have a lot of work to do to try and catch Samuel maybe on this next pit window. But we won't see that until around lap 24. So Avalarian, do you know if Racer Tay is subbing for somebody? I know we're missing quite a lot of people. We're missing people who are in the fight for the championship, like MOP Racer. In fact, is this a 0 livery? I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to Racer's livery. I don't see that it says 0 on there, but I could be wrong. But Vlave is also missing, and Vlave is in 4th place in the championship. So, in fact, in the top 5, the only people who are actually here from the top 5 of the championship standings are Samuel, Isma, and Bar. So we're missing 2. And Bar, as you see, just doesn't have the pace tonight. Not at this track. Racer Tay 1.4 ahead. The one team doing their thing, was that Isma who ended up out there? Yep, Isma must have made a mistake. Joao now leads the 1 pack. Just trying to keep Racer Tay within their sights. We'll have to check in a few laps. We'll see if that gap between Racer Tay and Samuel's coming down. Right now, it's 12.3 seconds. And it's been about that since they came out of the pits. But again, Racer did have to battle and was in a battle for that first lap of that. So we'll see now that Racer has nothing but clean air ahead if they are able to catch up to Samuel on pace. In qualifying, they had very similar pace. But you know, they went back and forth going faster and faster on a lap. Let's see what they can do now when the name of the game is consistency. And being kind to your tires as they wear. Joao has caught up to Racer Tay. Joao's broken off from their teammates to catch right back up to Racer Tay. So let's see if maybe Joao's able to get Racer out of second place here. I thought Racer's gap was insurmountable as it kept growing, but maybe either Racer made a mistake or Joao was really being held back by their teammates, and once they got past Isma, it was on. let's see, actually, Joao's last lap time was the fastest lap, a 1:35.3. So Joao just got an unlock on that last lap there. Got right up behind Racer. Struggling to stay with him now through the second sector, but we are going through some very fast sweepers, and Joao's going to have less grip there behind Racer. Must have also got a hell of a slipstream because Joao purple in the first sector by 7.5 tenths. Let's watch what happens between these two in that long straight. As they round the last turn. Oops, Joao a little bit sideways. That's not gonna work well for them. And yeah, for a second, for a moment there, that gap was growing because of that mess up. But the slipstream will overcome, and so Joao getting closer and closer, inching towards Racer's Tay here. I don't know that Joao will make a move. No, they're gonna have to break a little bit early, tuck in behind, but maybe make it go for it on the next lap. I think that would be worth it. You can make passes at Fuji outside of the straight. Of course, we saw it, and outside of turn 1 as well. But it's not as easy as you would think, again, because these corners are so high speed and because it's so important to maximize your exit on one corner to get to the next one on the faster sections, that even if you are able to outbrake your opponent into a turn or something, you're usually having to sacrifice the exit speed, right? Or the corner speed in some way, which if your opponent gets a good speed, they're going to get the position back in the middle sections of this track. It's just the nature of this track. You know, so you have to also be able to pass around here without disrupting your line too much, without disrupting your speed and flow too much, because it matters a lot around here. Just hanging on to it. But Joao, a little bit better in that last turn, a little bit closer, a lot closer actually. Just now crossing the start-finish line and only 2 tenths behind, less than now. Joao is going to take that outside line and does get the over-under on Racer Tay this time around, but Racer's going to have the inside for the next turn. It's not going to work out for Joao this time around. But nice move, nice try for Joao there. I just think turn 1's a little bit too wide for over-unders. Now that I'm seeing them, I just don't see that it works that well, because you can use so much of the corner and still maintain a lot of your speed. You know, the outside of that turn is really forgiving, basically, and you can be on the throttle very quickly. But Joao is trying to go for it. And I love to see it. Meanwhile, F. Oliveira chilling behind them, kind of far from Isma. Not much to report there. These two are really where the fight is. Of course, our back half also not really battling. Well, actually, let's see what's going on. Yeah, Bar and Akai look a little bit close. They look a little close. We'll come check on them again. Samuel's in the pits on lap 20. Interesting. So Racer Tay and Joao are going to pass. And I don't think these two are going to pit anytime soon. Is Samuel going to come out ahead of them? Samuel does come out ahead of them. Looks like Samuel took a little bit of fuel. No tires. Why? Why no tires, I wonder? Tires are the quickest thing in the pit stop. I would imagine that you would jump in for tires and not fuel, so I'm not sure what that was at all. But Samuel jumped in the pits. Now the gap is 5.5 seconds to Racer Tay. actually not sure what Samuel did in the pits there. Samuel has less fuel than the drivers behind. Older tires. I don't know what Samuel is doing in the pits unless they just had to go AFK for a second, which sucks, but it happens. These two still fighting it out. Joao making sure to keep all that pressure on RacerTay here. Looks like Joao's going to come out behind RacerTay pretty close on that last corner. Just, you know, do it well. Yep, a much smoother exit there for Joao. So they're going to be able to tuck right into that slipstream very early on. And should be able to make a pass in the straight if they want to. RacerTay goes very, very defensive there. Joao following to get that slipstream. Gonna take that outside line around turn 1 and get it easily. I think there was just nothing that RacerTay could really do about that. Joao was just gonna have too much speed from that really good slipstream there. Sam, meanwhile, came out 5 seconds ahead, and that gap is now 6.5 seconds. So obviously the battle between Joao and RacerTay kind of keeping them behind here. It's good for the viewers though, you know, it's good for the viewers. I'm certainly excited to watch it. You gotta wonder about RacerTay constantly going so defensive in turn 1 there when they themselves proved that going outside lets you carry enough speed to make a pass there. I would say they don't need to go so far inside, but I guess if it's worked for them so far. Joao, meanwhile, leads into the start-finish straight, immediately cuts inside to try to break that slipstream. Going back outside, I think that is the, well, Joao is weaving back and forth on the straight. I'm not sure that it's illegal to do that, but I will say that sportsmanship counts for something, and that's all I'm going to say about that. One is catching up. RacerTay was able to still stick with Joao through that and have the inside to turn 2, and so it's going to make that pass. But yeah, all of 1 is almost here. You got Joao followed by F. Oliveira, and then Isma's not too far behind, but a second and a half behind, so not really in the fight here. I think F is going to join the fight, getting much closer to teammate Joao. What's going to happen here? Are we going to tag team RacerTay or what? RacerTay, meanwhile, has to be wondering what they did to deserve this, to be bullied so much. Ooh, F. Oliveira having a little bit of a moment out of the chicane. You saw it. It was almost side by side with RacerTay. It would have been almost 3 wide there. Assuming one of them didn't back out of it, but F being forced to back out of it. So that F. Oliveira got a little sideways coming out of there. Joao back up front. Gonna weave left and right. Trying to break that slipstream. Meanwhile, F. Oliveira just got past RacerTay in that. RacerTay losing out right there. And now here also comes Isma to say, hey, what about me? My turn. Can I also get a pass, please? Maybe. Maybe you can, Isma. RacerTay's pit stop probably it just went really bad for them. Racer was enjoying first place and enjoying some clean air. They did have a battle with Samuel, of course, in the first stint, but that was one car to battle, and it wasn't that bad. But now Racer Tay has 3 cars to battle, and in corners where one car may decide, hey, I'll take it easy, the next car might not. So Racer really having to stay on their toes and having lost 2 positions in this fight so far, after having gained 1. In fact, if you recall, when they came out, Racer Tay was behind Isma. The 2 Oliveras were behind, and Racer Tay got past Isma in turn 1 on the next lap, after their outlap, and had a gap that was going up to a second. But something happened there. Joao got quick. Joao dropped the fastest lap in the race, a 1:35.3, and has been quick ever since. Racer Tay in the pits, finally tired of the battle. Lap 24, though, is about when I expected Racer to have pitted. If you recall, pitted very early in lap 20, so I don't know what Sam's strategy is right there. But Racer Tay is going to hop in and should come out in clean air. Yep, Racer Tay gonna get to just drive, which I'm sure they're happy about, and maybe it'll mean something in the end when Sam pits, because I think Sam will have to. Yeah, Sam's gonna have to pit for fuel and tires. Still not sure what that other pit stop was. Yeah, hard to explain. Bars in the pits. Akai Suisse having a very quiet race. Chilling in 6th place. Now is in 5th because Racer Tay jumped into the pits here, so I think Racer's gonna get their 5th place back. We'll see. But Akai staying in 6th place pretty much for this whole race. No One Sleep also having a pretty quiet race in the NSX at the back, as well as Bar. Sam's in. Sam is in 6.3 seconds behind Joao, or ahead of Joao. Joao's gonna go ahead and pass. Who's in? Isma's in. F. Oliveira's in. Joao staying out, not sticking to the team strat. Gonna head and hold on to first place, maybe try to extend that lead for yet another lap. Sam is going to come out still ahead of Racer Tay, but by how much? Where's Racer? Where's Racer? There was Racer. Just crossing the start-finish line, heading into turn 1. Racer comes out also behind Ismadelic. Not where Racer wanted to be. Right back behind the 1 drivers. Both Isma and Joao are ahead. Sam still comes out ahead of Racer by a lot. So Sam maybe on a winning strat here, if only because Racer keeps getting stuck in traffic and so can't build up any of that speed that we know them for. No One Sleep, just hop back out of the pits. Less than a third of the race to go. Got about 11 laps to do here. Joao in the pits. Sam passes for first place. Who else is going to pass? I think Racer Tay is probably going to pass, as is Ismadelic. Racer got ahead of Isma, by the way. Yep, Joao's still in the pits, but coming out, Joao comes out just ahead of Racer Tay. And Racer's not really able to chase just yet. Racer's got Isma to worry about behind. Sam still in first after that shuffle. sorry. Let's go back to the battle. Let's see this fight. Let's see if Racer can get out of Team 1 and make something of these next 10 laps. Not too far behind Samuel, 8.5 seconds, and I mean, yeah, that's a lot of time to overcome, but, you know, a couple good mistakes from Sam, and Racer's right back in it, but not if Racer's in a fight and surrounded by teammates. Got a blue flag warning on the map here for who? I don't see anyone who's in danger of getting lapped, so it must be a glitch for the game. Nobody in the back is near where these drivers are. Bar is way behind them. Tokyo way behind them. Okay, Suisse is also way behind them. So I'm just not sure why the game is throwing a blue flag. Blue flags, in case you don't know, indicate that you need to let the person behind you pass. Typically because that person is lapping you. Or is a lap ahead already, rather, not lapping you. But if they're already on a different lap, you are not battling them, and so you cannot impede them. So you get a blue flag to let you know, hey, the car coming behind you is a lap or a few laps ahead of you. You need to move out of their way and let them pass safely. That wasn't the situation here. I'm not sure why the game was throwing blue flags, but whatever. F. Oliveira, 2.1 seconds ahead of teammate Joao, who is holding back Racer Tay, who is towing Ismadelic along. Well, not really. Isma's 1.6 seconds out of from Racer Tay. I think he is out of the tow. Up early, getting pretty sleepy. Somebody better start fighting soon. Listening to the sounds of the NSX. What a great sounding race car. Alright. Back to these guys. They're just getting further and further from one another. Nobody really fighting at all here. Samuel, meanwhile, has done 2 stints of just lapping. Sam fastest in the first sector by 1/1000th of a second. They may even be faster than Joao was in the second sector, but they won't be in the last because Joao had a huge slipstream to help get that 1:35.3. And Sam, as you can see, has no slipstream. Purple in the second sector as well. If Sam was going to beat that lap time, this would be the lap to do it on. ultimately doesn't get it. Only by half a tenth though, and I wonder if it's the short shifting in the front straight, if maybe if Sam was revving it all the way out, if they would have gotten that lap time. But I guess we will never know. We will never know. Joao is looking good. Going through the turns, through those fast sweepers in the second sector, on into the hairpin, headed to the chicane here. Gap to Samuel, 4.6 seconds. So it looks like it's coming down between Joao and Samuel, but it won't be enough. There's not enough time. Not on pace alone. Teammate F. Oliveira, meanwhile, is only a second behind Joao. You have to wonder if, as the race starts to end here, if F won't make a play, or if they'll let Joao take it. Joao's standings in the championship, I think Joao is ahead of F. Yes, Joao is ahead of F by 3 points. Considering that they're teammates, I don't know if F is going to make a move on Joao, but we'll see. Oh, okay, so we say super laggy for me. Looks like they're driving in the grass. Or floating in the grass, actually. Let's go on board with Samuel, the driver view. Hey Diogo, how's it going? Sam coming to the last few corners of this lap here. One more lap down. 4 more to go. Lap 34, 5, 6, and 7. Not too much longer to hang on, Sam. Not too much longer. Meanwhile, these guys behaving. Okay, still very laggy for me. Always fun to watch. Tokyo still hanging on a second ahead of Bar. Ever since that first pit stop, Tokyo able to stay away from the GTR driver on pace. Looking to get those 7th place points. That was a loud noise. That was me sitting down. I'm very, very sore. Everything hurts. Sounds like a real race day. I miss racing, guys. I miss going to races. So everybody stay safe out there. Let's try to get rid of coronavirus. Especially if you are here in the US with me. Stay at home, put your mask on. If you do go out, can we try to shorten this? I want to go to races again. I also would love to go driving in the mountains with my friends again. I had to cancel my event. I do an annual event up at the Tail of the Dragon. Had to cancel that after pushing it back to August. That would have been next weekend. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen at all now. So let's try to shorten this so I can start enjoying all the car things again, please. Isma ahead of Racer Tay now. I don't know how long it's been the case. I didn't realize it happened. But all of Team 1 has gotten past Racer Tay, Racer who qualified at the top and who was doing a very, very good job of battling for first place in the first stint. Wasn't, you know, even thinking about this team. But we commented, you know, F. Oliveira, Joao, and Ismadelic were getting closer and closer and closer to that battle. And once the pit stops came and Racer Tay jumped in and had way less fuel than anybody else, you kind of knew it was a wrap. I didn't think it'd be this much of a wash, though. I didn't think that all three would get past Racer Tay, but I thought that Racer would definitely be delayed in battling with them. But yeah, not only delayed, but lost the battle. Across the finish line for one last time around. Sam still ahead by 6 seconds. Sam gonna want to take it easy for this lap. Just bring that thing home. Joao Oliveira Still has a teammate behind to maybe worry about. F. Oliveira not too far behind, so I don't know if Joao's going to relax, per se. But, you know, there could be team orders there. F. Oliveira might know not to do anything. Joao being in the run for the championship. Not going to beat Samuel. Samuel is at the top of the championship, and barring some catastrophe here, we'll take it. But Joao is next up for drivers who are at the top. Actually, Ismadelic is in second place in the championship, or third place. Well, no, second. They're tied for second with MOP Racer in the championship. MOP is not here. I still didn't get confirmation if Racer Tay is racing for MOP or racing for somebody, because I've not seen Racer Tay in any of these races before. So I'm not sure if they're here to race for MOP or what. MOP was supposed to be the host of this lobby and didn't make it. That's Samuel flashing the lights as they win. Sorry, that was Joao. As they come in second, Samuel wins it. F. Oliveira comes in third. Isma fourth. Who just spun and didn't make the... Okay, they made the finish. Okay, I thought someone spun and didn't make the finish line. Racer Tay is going to have to settle for fifth behind one. Akai Suisse crossing the line here for sixth place. Flashing those lights for the camera, and we are just waiting on No One Sleep and Bar, who are in a battle right now. Hadn't even seen that it was a fight. Maybe not so much of a fight. Bar just had a mistake there, and it's gone as quickly as we saw it. No One Sleep gonna take that gold and black wrapped NSX. I kind of like that gold on there. Kind of classic, right? A gold and red livery. Hello and hello. That's our race. Hello and hello. Okay, I just scrolled back enough to see this was all arranged yesterday morning. Racer Tay is racing just as a guest. So, MOP is going to get no points for this race. And so, that should boost Isma up a bit as, in any case with their finish. But Samuel winning, big congratulations to the top three. Samuel, Joao, F. Oliveira, well done. Racer Tay, some good races, good battling. Just didn't work out, huh? In any case, a good race had by everyone in the top 5. Good job by all of them getting a piece of that. Samuel thanked me for the clean race. I raced very cleanly, so he's welcome. Alright. Let me see. Yeah. Clean driving by me? Thanks, Bar. Let me get out of here. Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching. This was fun. This was a fun championship to commentate on. We will see you guys tomorrow for the first VES race. I think this is the first one. It's the first one I'm commentating on in any case. Have a good one.